second layer of the research onion is the approach, research approach. There are two approaches, deductive approach and inductive approach. Deduction and induction. What is deduction? Deduction is about you start from the predefined theory, existing theory, what is already known, and you take some observation on that and you test that theory to accept it or reject it. This is deductive approach. For example, exercise influence blood sugar is a theory. So you do a research based on this theory, starting from that theory, do some observation. You may take some quantitative measures, how much exercise he does in numbers and how much blood sugar he has in his blood in numbers as well. Put those all together and you test it and you confirm this theory or you reject it. Since you are approaching from the existing theory to confirm this approach is connected to positivism. Let's have a look at what we said before, using deductive research cycle. In this research approach, you will be starting your research from the existing theories. So if you take the blood sugar, there are multiple theories that is talking about the blood sugar. Blood sugar is influenced by exercise, food influence blood sugar, stress level influence blood sugar, financial constraints influence blood sugar, family problems influence blood sugar, the pandemic influenced blood sugar, business problems influence blood sugar. There are so many theories. Out of these theories, you pick one or two theories hypothetically and believe this is the reason why this guy is diabetic 4. So now you have to do some observations, so you have to collect some data and analyze those. After that, you may get some findings and those findings will get interpreted. We'll be learning how to collect data and do this analysis followed by findings and interpretation later in the same course. So after findings and interpretation, you would confirm your hypothesis or either you would reject it. When you reject it, you may revise your theory. When you accept it, you may accept that theory. One thing that you have to remember here, when you reject your hypothesis, there may be the reason because number one, you might have selected the wrong hypothesis or you might have selected the inappropriate research method. That is why you may have to reject the hypothesis. Let me take another example to explain this even further. There was an aircraft crash in France, Lufthansa Airlines, that took off from Germany towards some destination. On the way, the aircraft descended deliberately by one pilot and he crashed and he killed everyone on board. Now, there was no technical fault, there was no turbulences, there was no bad weather conditions there. They finally found out the pilot who crashed the aircraft was not happy about his girlfriend on the ground and he flew the flight with that stress and he crashed himself and suicided, meanwhile killing everyone on board. Now, this gives us a theory, a new theory. We know flights, they collapse like this, they come down like this due to some bad weather, due to some engine failures and technical issues and so on, but we've never heard somebody can crash an aircraft for this kind of reason. He has something with his girlfriend. So this is a new theory now. So before you send some pilot on the aircraft to bring some passengers, you have to check whether he is happy about his girlfriend on the ground. This is again another new theory. So to do this, we need the inductive approach. The existing theory are not capable of finding this. You need to have some induction, some observation, and you develop some new theory. After this, the law developed. They wanted to keep 2 pilots inside the cockpit throughout the flight, not one. Right, now having said that, let's have a look at the inductive approach and deductive approach in one view. Let's take the example of COVID. When COVID approached, we didn't have any theory, so we wanted to develop some vaccine. Based on certain qualitative observations, we managed to make some vaccines. And this is a new theory. This kind of formula can prevent people from being infected from COVID. So this is the theory. This theory was brand new and it was developed from nothing at that time. So this is inductive approach using qualitative observation. After you develop this vaccine, you have to do a deductive approach here to make sure this vaccine is working. So what you do, you take 100 people, you give vaccine for all those 100 people and you observe, you take some quantitative measures in here. How many vaccines are given, how many people have recovered, how many people have died, how many people have shown some immunity to this virus. Based on this one, you test this theory and you confirm it or you reject it. If you reject that, you will do further research and develop new theory and you test that again. So inductive approach with qualitative observation, and after that you develop a new theory. After the new theory, the theory is tested using quantitative observation, that is deductive approach, and it is confirmed or rejected, and the cycle goes on and on. Now let's summarize the difference in between this inductive approach and the deductive approach. Inductive approach is about developing new theories, but the deductive approach is about testing existing theories. Inductive approach is associated with phenomenology philosophy, whereas the deductive approach is associated with the positivism philosophy. And inductive is often connected to qualitative methods, qualitative data, qualitative observation, whereas deductive is often connected to quantitative methods, quantitative data, quantitative observation.